Hi, friends. I want to talk about something that is true for all of us. And this is the self. It is the self that we all share. And the purpose of our life is to know this self, plain and simple. And when we are on a journey of mind-body recovery or on a spiritual path, the obstacles they can seem really big. It can be daunting, right? And what the journey is really about exposing all this weakness and all the parts of ourself that is not integrated into self. Because you are self. This is your truth. Self is what you are. Self is strong, courageous. It is resilient. It is unbelievably intelligent. And when we have an intention to know that in ourself, and if you make that your intention, rather than to feel better or get rid of your symptoms, you're going to start aligning with that divine intelligence that really knows the way through, okay? And this is, for me, this was incredibly important, because if I made it about, when I was suffering with neuroplastic symptoms, if I made it about getting rid of my symptoms, more often than not, I was coming from ego, okay? And ego is weak. It is not strong. It is not resilient. It is a fixed, stuck energy that comes from our past, okay? Based upon all of our experiences and memories, relationships, hardships. And so differentiating where our intention is coming from can be very helpful on this path of recovery. You know, I'm on several mind-body forums where people can come and ask questions. And then there's a number of us that are recovered that try to help people. And it's not really free coaching, but it's kind of ask a question and get an answer. And I think it's a great service. But more often than not, what I see is people coming from what I call a victim energy. That, I have these symptoms and I need to get better and it's horrible and I can't, it's just too much, and they're getting beaten down because their intention is coming from ego and trying to get better, right? Rather than coming from the intention to know self, which is this strong, resilient energy within us, this intelligence that knows how to get better. And so I think this is probably one of the most important things, because as you do this inner work, the inner shadow work, and you start accessing these deep repressed emotions and feelings, and you start allowing them to express themselves, you're accessing a strength and a resilience just in that, right? We're going places we've never gone before. And to express things that we always thought were unacceptable, that is already becoming resilient, okay? So the mind-body recovery process is harnessing that courage and that resiliency and that one pointed intention. And because the self is the authentic self. And it's only its only intention, its only purpose, if you could say, is to become free. And this is what we want. We want to become free. And just trying to get rid of symptoms isn't freedom. That's still kind of locked into a victim energy, like I have symptoms and I need to get better. And that's not freedom, because we're going to always be worried about symptoms. So what does freedom feel like for you? It might include being free of symptoms, but it also might include something else, or a number of things. And when we start becoming aware through life stuff, what affects us? What makes us weak? What keeps us stuck? Right? And we see the old recurring patterns. That's how we see what keeps us stuck. And I'm right there with you. I still have circumstances that are showing me these things. And it's not easy. I want to run away. I want to fight. Instead, though, I get really quiet. And I know what my intention is, because it's been my intention for a long time. And that's to know the self, or to have the self live through me. And this is a truth. It's non-negotiable. That this self is what's true in you. And this self that's true in you only wants to be free. This authentic self. And I'm sure as I'm saying these words, you know that's true. Because we can look back on our life and see that we've never been free. We've always been a victim of circumstance. And a lot of people with mind-body stuff have this mentality. A lot of people in life have this mentality, not just people with mind-body stuff, but everybody has some level of mind-body stuff going on. It might not have manifested as symptoms quite yet. But we all have this mind-body connection, right? And if we're constantly trying to control the circumstances, that's not free. What's free doesn't try to control the circumstances. And so this is something important to consider, that what's true in you is trying to get free. And knowing about mind-body science, in my eyes, is a massive blessing. I had no idea. Understanding how the brain is perceiving danger, how that keeps us from not experiencing that ultimate freedom. And so if we have symptoms, what a blessing that is to know, okay, I've got protection in place. There's protection happening. And so that's a physical manifestation of something that's not free. And oftentimes, most times, that physical manifestation is emotional repression. Unexpressed emotion. Unexpressed, like I talk about. Okay? So consider this. Consider that the consciousness within you is looking to be free. And that now you know you have a means to see those protections that are in place as a doorway into that freedom. And trust me, it works. It's the best thing that's ever happened to me, other than meeting my teacher, my guru. And I feel her blessing with me all the time. I feel her presence guiding me this way, this way, this way, this way. This is the way to freedom, through this door of mind-body recovery. And regulating, getting the nervous system back into homeostasis so that it starts to regulate normally. Okay, I hope this was helpful. Just get clear on your intention. Don't make it about getting rid of the symptoms. If you do that, you're going to be in that place that's going to just keep going round and round and round, because it's the ego and it's stuck. That's what ego is. It's stuck. Make it about being free. And you have the tools. You know that what the protection is. And you know you don't need it anymore. You're much, much stronger than you know. This is all from the past. All this protection is all from the past. You don't need it anymore. You can move beyond it. But it might be uncomfortable. But if you have that intention in front of you, that's all you need. Okay? That's all you need, because it's coming from self that's in you, that will guide you, that will tell you the way. Just be clear about what you're doing. Okay. I'll talk to you again. Be well. Bye-bye.